Joining us now is Jeremy Siegel, Professor Emeritus of Finance at University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business. Professor Siegel, great to have you with us. You know, the way the markets interpreted Jerome Powell yesterday is that it was a green light for markets to go higher. We saw the S&P add on 1%. We saw the Nasdaq up 2%. We saw the VIX come in. We saw yields come in. Is that the right message? Is that what markets should walk away with?
Yeah, I mean, I think we begin to see that Chairman Powell and the Fed are beginning to get it, in my opinion. It was much more two-sided. He acknowledged that the housing sector is really a faulty indicator, the way the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So he quotes inflation excluding the housing sector because he said it's really going down, but we won't see it in the statistics to 6 months. So he's acknowledging a lot of the things that, you know, I've talked about and others have talked about over the last year, that inflation has come down absolutely dramatically. Now, will he do 2 more hikes? There's no way of knowing that. I mean, I think that the Fed really only knows maybe a week or 2 before the meeting that the hike that they're going to do there, and sometimes they don't even know. Listen, all we need is 1 negative payroll month. I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. It could be tomorrow. Maybe it's going to be first week of March. I think that really changes the whole narrative because he said that's the last thing that's drum tight. That's the labor market. We see the labor market break in some way or another. I don't think any more increases are going to be on the table.
Should markets get all excited about that one data point if and when it comes, though, Jeremy? Because it seems like what the markets have not latched onto, or maybe what the markets don't believe, is that once we reach that rate, once he is done with the rate increases, that rates will actually remain higher. Because that seems like the calculus, you know, if you want to rally, you have to believe that rates will come down. I mean, that's sort of what it's all predicated on, right? This notion that they're going to start cutting in the back half. If rates remain higher, that's a whole different calculus in terms of what you want to pay for stocks.
Yeah, but I don't think rates are going to remain higher. I think they're going to go down dramatically in the second half because of the weakened economy, the control over inflation. You know, they don't usually stay up when the Fed is in a hiking system for a year, the way, you know, the dot plot said last December. I really think we're going to have a big, large decrease in rates in the second half of the year because of the weakening economy and because of the dramatic slow of inflation. And I think that's what the market is looking forward to.
So in that scenario, though, why should markets go higher if we're going to enter an easing period because the economy is so terrible? I mean, why wouldn't markets look at that scenario as opposed to just be excited that we're going to be cutting rates?
Well, as important as earnings are, and they're very important, the discount rate, I mean, Ray Dalio was talking about it, right, is just as important, if not more important. If you bring down that discount rate, the market will say, hey, a mild recession or even a moderate recession for a year, I'll take that. And I think that's why I think the market still has a good chance of giving that 10 to 15% gain, the forecast that I gave on January 2nd, just 1 month ago.